record it. Alright, who wants to start it? Me, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
I chorus started it.
Alright.
Yourself venturing into a world that is unfamiliar to you in every single way. All you have to your name is your wits and a broken phone that has no internet. But wait, you have the MidFall podcast in your hands. Here you can listen to the tales of your three hosts, Luis, Josh, and Jared, as they venture through their own creative woes and whatnots. Get ready to be entertained through your wildest dreams as you conquer and face this new threatening world.
So welcome to the 8th or 7th episode.
Something like that.
Something like that episode of the MidFall podcast. This is our second recording of the in-person recordings. My name is Josh. I'm joined by Luis in the middle and Jared on the other side. I'm not going to say right in case this is flipped. But yeah, we have down here Luis is petting his dog Cora. She is so cute. If we feel like it, we'll edit a photo of her into the podcast.
Yeah.
But she's a cute dog, lovely dog. She's a really good girl. Today's episode, and we are going to have more episodes like this. We're going to be recording it throughout today as we do it, maybe even this week, is going to be a Halloween/October themed episode. Now, I'm going to kick it off automatically with a question. What is your go-to Halloween candy?
Halloween candy. So is your question basically like a trick or treating? I open up my bag of candy. What candy? Okay, Crunch bars, the little ones, or little Twigs. That's just me though.
For me. I'm gonna have to say probably Smarties. I haven't.
That too.
Yeah, I don't have them all the time. So when Halloween comes around, solid.
Smarties is the one where you dip it in powder, right?
That's Fun Dip.
Fun dip. Okay, what is Smarties again?
Smarties is like the little disc ones that come in like a tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. Those are good.
Yeah, those are pretty solid. They're
Yeah.
addictive. Addictive as all hell.
Yeah, I think Luis might know this, but my go-to as a kid was always candy corn. I loved candy corn.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
I still eat it every now and then.
Sinful. Wow. Oh my god. Candy corn. Really? Candy corn?
Huh? Dude, candy corn has this, if you eat too much, it's not good, right? When you eat just a few pieces, it's super nice. It's just so good.
Is it a texture thing or is it an actual taste thing?
It's a taste thing for sure. Texture's just smooth, but then when you bite into it, it's like a little, it's air and stuff like that, and it's a little, I wouldn't say crunchy, but it's a little more solid than you expect. But it's definitely a taste thing. It has a taste that other candies don't really have, which I like. It kind of reminds me of jelly beans a little bit, but a little bit more heavy in the taste.
Huh. To go along with your Smarties, Nerds, the little boxes of Nerds is also a good one. But Smarties is also good.
Yes, sir.
After I would finish my Twix or Crunch bar, that'd be the next one I'd look for. But yeah.
Alright, so in this episode, we are going to be asking some questions. Some of us might have stories to tell. I have a story to tell. Does anyone else have a story they want to tell?
Not me.
Okay, so I'm going to kick it off with my story. And then maybe in future episodes, you guys might have some stuff to bring up. But let me open it on my phone. Hopefully it does not stop the recording. I don't think it will. But this is a Reddit story that comes off of r/scary stories. And it's titled, The Dancing Man. So The Dancing Man, this is why, okay, I'm not going to say anything. But I want you guys to get your raw reactions, okay? All right. Josh was dancing, just like he did every day, on the same patch of dry dirt that his feet had worn away the grass of years prior. The air was crisp and sharp, if that didn't bother Josh. When he danced, nothing could stop him. He had been doing the same dance for over 40 years. Same dance, same location, same time, day in, day out. Just like every other day, the locals had come to watch him dance. Some looked out of pure disbelief. Even though they had seen the dance hundreds of times, they could never seem to get used to it. Others were there just for the event, but didn't dare look. A few of the children that were present were screaming and crying, clung tight to their mothers. Many of the viewers had resorted to violence, picked up what objects they could, and tossed them towards Josh. Very few left marks as they struck in his bare flesh. Just like every day, Josh was new. His tallywhacker joining in with his hypnotizing dance, flopping freely with every jump he made. Josh was just like any other young male in the prime of his life, full of life and energy. The only difference is that he was without a head. That had been lopped off years prior. A futile attempt was made by one of the locals to stop the daily naked waltz. They had rushed him and had their way with a freshly sharpened axe, took the head clean off his shoulders. They'd all celebrated that night. The whole town got together and danced and celebrated the death of the dancing man. You should have seen their faces when he appeared the day after. Same place, same time. Only this time, fresh volcanic eruptions of crimson replaced where his head should be, showering the dancing man with a deep crimson war paint that made the dance all the more disturbing. They tried to ignore him, all stay indoors while the man danced, but that only resulted in a townsperson getting plagued, brainwashed, void of all composure, drawn to the dancing man to join him in his infernal dance. There were around 16 others who had ended up joining the Moonlight Masquerade before they gave up on this idea, all stripped bare, free to Mother Nature. No attempt to wake the cursed locals would work. The only thing that stopped the plague and halted the headless Pied Pipers' calling was to observe. Every local had to come, every night, to witness the great dance. Those who didn't, doomed to join and dance. This continued for the next 20 years up until the Great Fire. The town was so preoccupied trying to save what was left of the burning homes and ashes of their supplies, they didn't even realize the time. This night, Josh did his greatest dance of all. A dance so great that the pole was unbearable. The locals all stopped at the same time, dead in their tracks, struck with sudden shock. Then step by step, springed heel by tip or toe, they all made their way down the cobbled streets to the clearing and they danced. Oh, how they danced. Hundreds of bodies, all ages and sizes, all finally together, backlit from the embers that approached down the tree line. They all danced as the fire consumed them. The dancing man's work was done. His great event, now complete. Only one thing to do. On to the next town.
That was pretty good, honestly. Yeah. What made you choose that one?
So Luis brought up the idea of bringing up scary stories, and Luis is very he's into scary stories and stuff like that, and growing up he would get me into them. And so when I browsed Reddit, I already knew there were scary stories because in the past Luis and I, we used to want to bring up scary stories on the podcast and just talk about them. And I know we're going to do it eventually more in the future, maybe outside of October. But I knew about this subreddit, so I opened it, and it was one of the most recent posts actually. Let me actually shout out the person who posted it. Their username is /I_Phil_Graves. So if you think about it, they probably go on this Reddit a lot and post. I haven't checked out their stuff, but the moment I saw the word Josh, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a funny story. I want to see how they reacted to it.
Yeah.
But then I started reading he's naked. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to bring this up. But then I finished the story because I was reading it while they were in the room, when you guys were in the room, and you could hear me going, what the am I reading? What the hell? And I was kind of freaking out a little bit more than I should have, but it turned out to be a pretty good story. I think it's open to, it kind of reminds me of Smile. Have you seen that movie? Mm-hmm. It reminds me of Smile, how it's infectious. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's more in mass with that one, but it's infectious and I think it's pretty cool.
think there's a Smile 2 coming out actually. Soon enough. I haven't seen the movie, the first one, but I know the idea. And yeah, no, that's what's scary about it, right? And especially too, you know, they were all doomed to burn. Cause, you know, yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so now I'm going to proceed on to the next topic, kind of within, you know, same thing. What is your guys' kind of favorite thing to do during the holiday season, like the Halloween holiday season? Over here, especially with Jack, my girlfriend, Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown is gonna be on, obviously because of me. I'm gonna be putting on like whatever scary story type of thing, you know, that I can put on, whether that be like a Mystery Nightmare, Let's Read, or, you know, whatever like that. But actually, to condense this story along with this question, what is your guys' favorite Halloween themed episode of anything that you guys watch, along with this, you know, with what you like to do this season?
That's a really good question, but I don't have an answer just yet. My mind blanked when you said that. But I can do a quick Google search of a list, and I'll probably remember once I see the list. So we do that real quick.
Jared propped up, so go ahead.
Where do I begin? First off, Charlie Brown, goated. Best thing ever to ever exist. Easily, 100%. Better than anything ever. I love watching the Halloween special of Charlie Brown. That is one of my favorite things to do during the Halloween season. But luckily for our childhood, we had a lot of shows that would do Halloween specials. We got one from friggin' SpongeBob, you got one from Fairly Odd Parents, you got one from like Danny Phantom, you had the regular show Halloween specials. Oh,
yes. Simpsons, Treehouse of Horrors.
Treehouse of Horrors. Oh my god. There's a lot. So for me, during like that time of October, it's really just enjoying not only just like the temperature change, all the leaves falling down, people getting ready their own decorations for their house and whatnot. It's enjoying those shows and just fully being engulfed into the Halloween spirit. That's one of my favorite things to do during the season.
Oh, I know mine. I just saw it. My favorite Halloween episode is Ben 10, when he loses Ghost Freak. That one always stuck with me. I don't know why I didn't remember it until I saw it on Google. Like, I had to search through random stuff, but I finally saw that. That episode, I think when it happened, either Luis and I spoke about it or me and someone else, but I remember being scared shitless when he lost Ghost Freak. I was like, holy crap, this ghost is a lot more devious than I expected him to be ever. I never expected that to happen, ever. So I thought it was pretty sick.
Yeah, I think for me, I really liked, I forget which regular show, Scary Story one it is, but the one with Percy, or the doll that
Let Me Ride on Your Face.
That was,
I think that was like the first one.
yeah, I think so, yeah. I think that's the same one where everything turns into a house.
Big skin muscle man.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And when Pops gets like thrown into the closet, it just disappears.
Yeah.
But that one, for Simpsons, because we brought it up, Treehouse of Horror, I had, when I was younger, like in elementary school, I had got on PlayStation Network, like a very old one where they did a parody of, I don't know if it was The Conjuring or like what scary movie it was. I don't think it was The Conjuring because it was like in the 90s, but where like the house turns out to be haunted because it's in a native burial ground. I don't know if it was supposed to be a play on Poltergeist or like.
I think it was maybe Poltergeist because I think that was like the first Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah, something like that. Where they also get abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
On one of the episodes. Oh, and then also in the very same one, they did a parody of the Crow, the Raven.
That's right. Yeah. Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah.
So, that one. And honorable mentions, just like Disney Channel, like the Mac and Cody one, or the Haunted Hotel Room. And yeah, that's kind of all like
I think Wizards of Waverly Place did like more than one episode for them, didn't they? Like the whole werewolf guy that Alex was dating or something like that.
The Way of the Vampire.
Yeah, the Vampire, the Bridge of Medley or something like that. Yeah, those were, I don't know if those were during Halloween. I think they were.
Maybe.
They might have not been, but they contribute. They were good. Those are good. No, I definitely think. Oh, I want to bring up something. Nightmare Before Christmas. How do you guys feel about that movie?
That movie scared me.
Really?
Yeah, that movie scared me. I used to get nightmares, I think, when I was, like in elementary school-ish time. Like third grade-ish. But yeah, no, but I grew to like it.
Same here. It's a really wonderful movie. I did mention a couple episodes ago that I went to Disneyland with one of my friends, and during that time, they had the Nightmare Before Christmas theme for the Haunted Mansion, and it's always a treat to see that because they keep it up for a good while, like till like past January, I think. So.
Yeah. I was gonna ask. I like the movie too, and actually, I think I was somewhat scared of it growing up because it's mainly the stop motion and also just the vibe of the whole movie. Especially when like the boogeyman and those kids are on. Those kids are actually kind of scary, and the mayor. I didn't really like the mayor, but if you were to pick a holiday to be added to the Nightmare Before Christmas, if they're to make like a second one, because like we know the big ones are on there, like Easter. Thanksgiving, Christmas, the doors on the trees.
Yeah.
If you could think of anything, what door would be added to the tree? I know what you're gonna say.
I was gonna. No. But I was gonna say Valentine's Day.
Ooh,
Valentine's Day.
that's a good one.
That's good.
I'm just gonna snatch this before Jared does. New Year's.
Oh, New Year's. That's a good one.
Being able to relive
That's a
New
good
Year's
one.
every day, I'm not gonna lie.
Holiday. St. Patrick's Day. That was okay. Holiday. You know, Kwanzaa. Let's just go Kwanzaa. Let's just go Kwanzaa.
Those that have St. Patrick's Day, I'm going Kwanzaa.
I just want to see some black people in it.
Yeah. I was gonna say like Columbus Day or like change it to just Juneteenth.
Oh,
That's a holiday, huh?
yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
I was gonna say that there'll be like a what's it called? Gravity Falls, Summerween.
Oh yeah.
Summerween.
Yeah.
So what horror movie do you guys kind of associate with Halloween?
So if we're not counting like Halloween Town, like I used to associate that one with Halloween as a kid.
No, like let's say legitimate like horror movie.
Legitimate? Dude, Insidious Chapter 1. I watched that movie once and it scarred me. Because Insidious Chapter 1 where his son, like, goes and does, what's it called? The whole, not dream, something like, like you sleep and your spirit goes
Astral projection?
Yeah.
Astral projection.
So he does astral projections to get his son back. But it's the scenes in the movie where it's not even jump scares or anything, it's just like the whole kind of vibe. The suspense of the movie, like you said, yeah. Where like the demon devil guy like in the corner of the room, in the baby's room or whatever, that scarred me when I saw it. And I was a grown adult when I saw it. I was like 21 when I saw it. Like, so imagine how I felt as a grown adult seeing that, and then I go to my own bed and I'm like, oh my god, imagine if you're in my freaking corner of my room. Like, that's how it felt. And then I got spoiled for the future movies, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch them eventually, but right now I'm still scarred. And I'm still kind of scarred to this day. I don't see him, but I still think about him whenever I think of Halloween stuff.
I don't know if you remember in my room like a couple like homes ago that I had a painting like at the little foot of my bed that I had made, and it was supposed to be like a painting of like Joey Jordison from like the drummer from Slipknot, and like inspired mask type thing. So it was just a face, right? And it was, you know, black, white, and red. And I remember just one time specifically I woke up like after a nightmare or something like that, at like, you know, 3 a.m. or whatever. And I looked up and I looked at the painting and I was like, oh my god, that's scary. And then I said, oh, and I was like, I was talking to myself and I was like, oh my god, do you think that painting is haunted? And I was like, you painted it yourself. And I'm like, no. And then I'm like, okay, well, if I were to die, does that mean that like I could haunt it if I wanted it to? And then, you know, that's how I kind of made myself go to sleep, because I turned the conversation a little bit more than that comedic thing, but you know, yeah. So, yeah.
What's your guys' movie then?
For me, Hereditary.
I was about to say that one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's the premise of that without spoiling it? Because I haven't seen it yet.
Basically, kind of like your typical, like demon possesses like a family kind of thing. Yeah.
Ish. Yeah. Yeah. It's like you think it's a family haunting. Yeah.
And then just go off the fucking wall.
I do kind of want to show you that movie, but it is kind of a messed up movie. Especially, it's like one of those movies where like you don't want to see it more than me. I mean, you know, it is good to watch it, but like it makes the impression the first time.
Yeah, you kind of like have your fill of it for a while.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that rewatching it, you definitely notice more things. Because it does do a really good job at the build up at the end. Because you, like I said, you assume it's one thing. You assume it's just a family haunting type thing, but then you realize it's something different. I guess kind of similar to like Cabin in the Woods. You guys remember how like at the very end you realize that it's not even that they're like getting haunted by the cabin in the woods or whatever. It's that they're like a sacrificial like ritual or something like that.
Does anyone have any more questions, any more topics to bring up?
Alright, here's a pretty simple one. What was your favorite Halloween costume growing up? Like, out of all of them, what was the one that you just remember so vividly?
At least might remember one of mine. For one of mine, I legit was a Ghostbuster. But it's hard to find like one-piece suits that are like for kids, right? Without buying straight up Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So my Ghostbuster, like the one piece, wasn't like a janitor's gray or anything like that, or tan or khaki. It was a silver like astronaut. So I was a silver astronaut Ghostbuster essentially. He's part of it. It was actually no, but the backpack was sick. Like we took vacuum pieces, old cardboard cutouts. When you get like one of those like CD things, and it's like the whole like the cardboard is like that, like the divots and stuff.
Yeah.
You put that on the back of like a cardboard backpack and stuff like that. The backpack was inside the cardboard. Spray painted it black, everything. So it was my most memorable costume for sure. I loved that costume.
Nice.
Mine, I remember I was a werewolf in 2nd grade, and it was kind of a generic like werewolf costume, but like I guess it was one where it just looked really good for being a generic like werewolf costume. I don't know, it was really like werewolves at the time because I had seen Van Helsing like at that age, so I was like, oh, werewolves really cool. Besides that, like the one costume that I really always wanted was like a ghoul reaper costume. I don't know if you guys remember it. It had like a black face covering, so you couldn't see anything. It was like a hood, and then it had you had glasses. It had the two lights on top of like your eyes, so that it looked like just black and then two red dots. Yeah, that one looked cool.
Yeah, that's hella funny that you mentioned that because I had a phantom costume that was basically all black with like a black mask on it, and I would, go into school with that, and people would be like, Jerry, is that you? And I'm like, yeah.
Were you tall at the time when you had that costume?
I think so.
Oh my god.
I think so, yeah.
That's too freaking
Terrifying.
But also, I want to bring up, I do remember Luis's werewolf costume in second grade. When he started describing it, I was like, wait a minute, it sounds so familiar.
Red and white, that's true.
Yeah, I remember that one video. Oh my god, that's memories.
Yeah. But yeah. That it for this Halloween one?
I think so.
Alrighty, so there will be a string of Halloween ones, like we just mentioned, just to get them out for the month of October, especially now that we have this kind of interaction in person. So yeah, pretty much it for this one. Like, comment, subscribe, follow us on the socials down there, MidFall.99, Black Pumpkin Boyo, right on Instagram.
Yo.
Yosh Network, that is YOSH, and then network, okay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys on the next thing.
Bye, Jayu.